Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're looking at the November 10th edition of Sunny Side Up. And get this, we've got clothes, we've got AI, and we're even going way back in time with X-rays.
Clothes, AI, and X-rays. It's a little bit random, right?
Well, on the surface, yeah. But trust me, these stories have a surprising connection. We're talking about unexpected discoveries and how they can change everything, like little aha moments that lead to something way bigger.
I like that. The ripple effect of discovery.
Okay, so first up, let's talk about something we all wear: clothes.
Clothes. Okay.
Have you ever been in a store, like, totally debating between a cheap shirt and a pricier one?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah, and you're like, okay, the expensive one, it's got to be better quality, right?
That's usually my thinking, yeah.
Well, get this. Hubhub and Primark did all this research and actually tested out clothes at different price points. And guess what?
What did they find?
The cheaper stuff often held up way better.
Really?
No, seriously. Like, women's t-shirts under 10 pounds were tougher than ones that cost like 40 pounds.
Wow, okay. That's pretty surprising.
And it wasn't just t-shirts. Hoodies, too. Ones between 11 and 20 pounds lasted longer than hoodies that were 3 times more expensive.
So you're saying cheaper clothes can actually be more durable?
Yeah, it kind of throws that whole you get what you pay for thing right out the window, doesn't it? They even tested men's t-shirts, and this one under 5 pounds. It came in second for durability.
Out of how many?
Like 17 they tested. It beat out shirts that were 10 times its price.
Wow. Okay, so what's the deal here? Why are we seeing this?
Well, it's interesting. One idea is that with fast fashion, some of those expensive brands, they're all about the style, the trends, right? So maybe they're skimping on the actual materials or how the clothes are made, even though they're charging a fortune.
So maybe those big price tags aren't always a guarantee of quality.
Definitely makes you stop and think before you splurge, right?
Yeah.
I'm curious, how about you? Does this change your approach to clothes shopping?
I mean, it definitely makes you think twice about those impulse buys, for sure. It's a good reminder to look beyond just the price. Think about the materials, how it's put together, and honestly, how much you'll actually wear it.
Totally. Okay, are you ready for something even crazier?
Okay, what's next?
Hit me. We're going from clothes to, wait for it, AI that can smell.
AI that can smell. What does that even mean?
No, I'm serious. It sounds like some sci-fi stuff, but it's really happening.
So are you saying they've given AI like an actual nose?
Not exactly a nose, but they've come up with this thing called digital olfaction.
Digital olfaction. Okay, break that down for me.
So basically, they're using sensors and algorithms, kind of like our noses, to figure out what chemicals are in the air.
So AI is actually replicating the way we smell.
Pretty much. Think about it. When we smell something, it's tiny little molecules floating in the air that land on receptors in our noses. And then our brains take that information and tell us, hey, that's the smell of, I don't know, freshly baked cookies.
Okay, got it. So how does AI do that without a nose?
Well, they use these things called electronic noses. Think of it as a bunch of sensors all working together, each one designed to detect a specific range of smells. And then they use machine learning to interpret all those signals, just like our brains do.
Wow, that's incredible. So what kind of amazing things can AI do with this sense of smell?
Get this. There's this experiment called scent teleportation. They analyze the scent of a plum, like the exact chemical makeup, molecule by molecule.
Okay, so they figured out what makes a plum smell like a plum. Then what?
They recreated the scent perfectly.
Wait, they rebuilt the smell of a plum from scratch?
Yeah, people couldn't even tell the difference between the real plum and the recreated scent.
You're kidding. That's mind-blowing. Okay, but I have to ask, what's the point of all this? What can we actually do with AI that can smell?
That's where it gets really interesting. Think about all the ways we use our sense of smell. Like, we can tell if food's gone bad or if there's a gas leak.
Right.
So imagine AI having that same power. Systems that can warn us about dangers, help us make better decisions about food even.
Even what?
Even create personalized scents. Imagine your house smelling exactly how you want it, all thanks to AI.
Okay, I see where this is going. It's not just about cool tech, it's about real-world applications. Like you said, safety,
Exactly.
AI that can smell gas leaks before they become dangerous, or food spoilage before we even buy the product. That could be huge for preventing accidents and illnesses.
Huge is right. And it doesn't stop there. Think about hospitals. AI could help doctors diagnose illnesses because a lot of diseases have a unique smell. Early detection, could be a game changer.
So like an AI knows to help doctors figure out what's wrong.
Exactly. And even more, think about monitoring pollution in cities, creating new perfumes, tailoring scents to individual preferences. The possibilities are endless.
Okay, I'm getting it. This AI smell thing, it's pretty amazing. But doesn't it make you wonder, if machines can do all the smelling for us, what happens to our sense of smell?
You hit the nail on the head. It's like with anything new, we got to think about the consequences.
Yeah.
If we let technology do everything, do our own senses start to fade away? Is that progress, or are we losing something important?
These are big questions. We need to be careful about becoming too reliant on technology.
Totally agree. Okay, ready to shift gears completely?
Yeah, let's do it. What's next?
Let's jump back in time now, like way back, to 1895.
Okay, 1895. What happened then?
Picture this. You're a scientist messing around in your lab, and bam, you stumble upon invisible rays that can see right through stuff.
Whoa, hold on. Invisible rays that see through things. That sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie.
I know, right? But this is a true story. We're talking about Wilhelm Röntgen and the discovery of X-rays.
X-rays, wow. So how did this all happen?
So Röntgen, he was experimenting with these cathode ray tubes, and he noticed these weird rays coming from the tube. They were leaving marks on a screen nearby.
Okay, and what did he do?
Well, being a curious scientist, he starts putting different things between the tube and the screen just to see what happens. And that's when he realizes these rays can pass through almost anything, but some materials block them more than others.
So, like, some things were more transparent to these rays than others.
Exactly. And denser materials, like bones, they absorbed more of the rays, which meant they showed up more clearly on the screen. And that's how we got that famous image of his wife's hand. You know, the one where you can see her bones and even her wedding ring.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that picture. It's kind of creepy, but also amazing.
Right. Talk about a mind-blowing moment. To suddenly realize you've discovered something completely new, something that can literally see through solid objects, it must have been incredible. And the impact was huge. I mean, Röntgen won the very first Nobel Prize in physics for this discovery.
That's a pretty big deal. The first ever Nobel Prize in physics.
I know, right? And get this, he donated all the prize money to his university.
Wow. Talk about dedication to science.
Okay, but let's talk about what X-rays really did for the world. I mean, they're everywhere today. Hospitals, airports, even space exploration.
It's hard to imagine medicine without X-rays. Before that, doctors had to rely on physical exams, and sometimes they had to, actually cut people open just to see what was going on inside.
It's crazy to think about that now, isn't it?
Totally. X-rays were a game changer. Suddenly, they could see broken bones, diagnose lung conditions, find tumors, all without invasive procedures. It was a revolution in healthcare.
And then technology kept advancing, right?
Right.
We went from basic X-ray images to CT scans. Those are like super detailed X-rays, right?
Exactly. They give doctors a 3D view inside the body. You can see organs, tissues, blood vessels, all in incredible detail.
Amazing. What are some other ways X-rays are used in medicine these days?
Well, there's fluoroscopy, where you can watch X-ray images in real time, so doctors can see organs in motion. It's used for things like guiding catheters during surgery or watching how the digestive system works. And then there's radiation therapy, where they use high-energy X-rays to actually target and destroy cancer cells.
Wow, so from diagnosis to treatment, X-rays really cover a lot of ground.
They do. It's hard to overstate how important they've become. And it's not just medicine either. Think about airport security, for example.
Right, those scanners that check our bags.
Exactly. They use X-rays to see through luggage and make sure there aren't any dangerous items hidden inside.
So from healthcare to keeping us safe while we travel, the impact is pretty huge.
And don't forget about space. Astronomers use X-ray telescopes to study all sorts of cool stuff in space. Black holes, supernovae, you name it.
Wait, hold on. We can see those things with X-rays.
Well, not see them with our eyes, obviously. But those objects emit X-rays, and we can detect those signals with special telescopes. It gives us a whole new way to understand the universe.
So X-rays are like a secret language of the cosmos.
That's a great way to put it. And get this, they're even helping us map the distribution of dark matter.
Dark matter, what's that?
It's this mysterious stuff that makes up a big chunk of the universe, but we can't see it directly. But we can see how its gravity affects X-rays, and that helps us figure out where it's located.
That's incredible. We're using invisible rays to study something else that's invisible. Mind officially blown. So from a chance discovery in a lab to unlocking the secrets of the universe, it's been quite a journey for X-rays.
It's amazing, right? And it really shows how one seemingly small discovery can lead to breakthroughs in all sorts of fields.
It's all about those aha moments and following the trail of discovery wherever it leads.
Exactly. That's the beauty of science.
So we've covered some pretty wild ground today. I mean, we started with questioning those price tags on clothes, then we dove into AI that can smell diseases, and we even took a trip back in time to those first mind-blowing X-rays.
Yeah, it's really incredible how far we've come. Imagine a world without X-rays. How did doctors even figure things out?
Right. It's crazy to think about. And then you have this whole AI smell thing, like machines that can smell. Did anyone even think that was possible? It's like science fiction becoming reality right in front of us.
It definitely makes you realize that we're just at the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more to discover out there.
It's pretty inspiring when you think about it. Makes you want to get out there and discover something new yourself, or at least learn more about all the cool things happening right now.
Absolutely. And that's what we hope this deep dive does, spark some curiosity, get people thinking, and exploring new ideas.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Oh, and before we wrap up, don't forget to check out the show notes for links to all the articles we talked about today. We only scratched the surface. There's a whole world of information out there waiting to be explored.
Yeah, go deeper, do some research, and hey, maybe even share your thoughts with us. What stood out to you? What connections did you make? We'd love to hear from you.
That's it for this deep dive, folks. Thanks for joining us. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and most importantly, keep that sense of wonder alive.
It's been a pleasure.